Okay, so yesterday, D-Day, and I was likening it to the way we are fighting or not fighting the war against radical Islam and the terrorists. And I saw an article, and this is something we've talked about a couple of times, that British intelligence, British authorities say there may be as many as 23,000 jihadis living in England right now that they are trying to keep an eye on. And I was thinking, can you imagine in World War II, 23,000 German or Japanese soldiers, not of German or Japanese descent, but can you imagine 23,000 German soldiers living in the USA, and the response from your government is, we're keeping an eye on them.
We're watching them.
Yeah.
Whew.
Is my analogy ill-based?
No, that's not.
If there are 23,000, and let's say that they're playing it safe. Let's say there's only really 10 or 15. Let's say there are 10 or 15 people in England, 10 or 15,000 people in England right now, Muslims in England right now, who are leaning radical, and if given the opportunity, would blow things up, including themselves. And they're keeping an eye on them.
They're watching them.
Is that when I say, imagine in 1942 or 43 or 44, our government saying, there's 15,000 German soldiers, but we're keeping an eye. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, that would be the same thing. That wouldn't have happened back then.
What the hell is England doing?
Yeah, what are they doing? That's a good question.
But they can't seem to figure out why there are constant terror attacks. They seem puzzled by it all. The guy writes the article. Well, you know, they turn to terror because they feel ostracized by English society.
Oh, my.
Japan attacked us in 1940 because they felt ostracized. Okay. I mean, is that just the dumbest analogy, or is somebody
brilliant.
in the 21st century world just being stupid?
It's brilliant, and you have to think, would this have happened in the 30s? You know, thousands of German folks just kind of infiltrate various countries and start setting off bombs. Now, the Germans wouldn't have blown themselves up like these terrorists are doing, I don't think.
Now, here's my question. So, these jihadis that are in England and across Europe, and you figure if there's 23,000, if the British intelligence reports are accurate, how many in this country that we're keeping an eye on? Now, my question is, if you are an Islamic fighter living in England waiting for your chance, and you see that the response to every attack is hashtag Manchester Strong. Ariana Grande will have a concert.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me see if I got this right. If I blow up a whole bunch of little kids with a nail bomb, I'm fighting the war with weapons.
Right.
They're fighting the war with a 17-year-old singer. How do you think they with hashtags? How do you think those jihadi fighters, when they attack England or when they attack France, and the response is a concert?
We'll have a concert.
And Katy Perry says,
with the Bieber,
look at the person next to you and hold hands and say, love can overcome hate. That's, if you're fighting a war and that's your enemy's response, what do you think of them?
Oh, they're laughing. They're laughing at them. They're laughing at the Ariana Grande, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Coldplay.
When England or France responds to a terror attack with political correctness or diversity or multiculturalism, what you're telling me is that the jihadi warriors who are waiting for their chance to kill more innocent people, they don't see political correctness. They don't see diversity. They don't see multiculturalism. What they see is say it.
Wusses.
Weakness.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're a bunch of wusses. We really are. And when are we going to stop? When are we going to stop and open our eyes and do something?
What's the line? Where's the line in the sand, Colonel Travis?
I'm not sure. Does it have to get in my neighborhood?
Evidently, it ain't happened yet. In England, it hasn't happened yet. In France, it hasn't happened yet. Who's drawn the line? Who said, no, sorry, no more? Then that's it.
We're shut.
We're
We're
fighting
closed.
a war now. No. Hashtag Manchester Strong. Katy Perry, hold hands with the person next to you and say, love can overcome hate. That's our counterattack.